Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back, and today I'm going to talk about Being the Ricardos. Yes, my first review back, and it's this. Normally I do these reviews 2 minutes or less. This one, no, I'm going to be going on a rant. So sit tight, grab some popcorn, and let's get into it. If you have been around my channel for a while, if you know me at all, you know I am a massive Lucille Ball fan. I mean, I've read books about her. I've watched every show. I've trying to watch all of the films that she has been in prior to I Love Lucy and after. But this has been Being the Ricardos was probably my most anticipated film for probably 4 to 6 years. I can't remember for sure. I think they announced or said something about Aaron Sorkin writing it maybe 6 years ago, and Cate Blanchett was attached to play Lucille. I was super excited for that because Cate Blanchett would be my number one choice. Deborah Messing would be my second choice because both of them are very talented and funny ladies. Aaron Sorkin is one of my favorite writers in Hollywood right now. So, extremely excited for this. But when I heard that they cast Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball, I was very nervous. And then when I watched the first teaser trailer, I was extremely nervous. So, that being said, going into this, and this may have been why I did not like it as much as probably some other people did, but I was very skeptical on a lot of this. I did watch it twice, just so one time I could watch it and take it in, and then the second time I watched it to really get my thoughts into place. And the first time I watched it, I enjoyed it a little bit more than I did the second time, but that's not saying I really loved it the first time I watched it. I will start off with some of the good things that I like, which really is Javier Bardem as Desi. I think he got the accent down pretty well. He sounded a lot like Desi. He played Ricky really well. I follow a lot of Lucille Ball, I Love Lucy Instagram accounts, and a lot of them did say that they didn't really like Javier Bardem as Desi, but I mean, they also are even more entrenched in the Lucille Ball world than I am, so that's what they feel. I also really liked J.K. Simmons. I don't think he was necessarily a perfect fit for William Frawley, but I think he did a great job and was able to play Bill Frawley as best as he could, better than maybe some of the other people who were cast in this. Also, I really liked the actress who played Vivian Vance. I thought she did a great job. I don't know who she is. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything before, but I really, really liked her performance in this. So now let's talk about some of everything, really. Everything I did not like in this film, which was a lot. There are some nitpicky things, but a lot of those nitpicky things are built up within how many inaccuracies there are within this film. And I would be okay with a tiny couple little inaccuracies, like the fact that they kept saying it's the 37th consecutive episode that they're filming, even though it's technically the 23rd after the lost pilot. But, again, very, very nitpicky in that respect. I do think that they could have gone with a more iconic episode. It may have been a little bit better, but at the same time, I don't think they could have done that because they probably would have had to cast more extras, and I don't think a lot of the more iconic episodes are iconic because of the physical comedy that Lucille does within those episodes, and I really don't think Nicole Kidman could have pulled that off. She did okay with the grape stomping visualization scene that they did, which that's another thing I kind of liked. I liked that they showed Lucille visualizing how scenes should go. That was something, I don't know if that's something Lucille did, but it also is something that it shows how she the time that she takes to perfect her bits. In this book right here, written by Madeline Pugh, who's played by Leah Shackle, I can't pronounce her name, but she's the only female writer. She talked about how Lucille would practice the entire week, all of her physical bits with any props that she would be using on that episode, and basically she was very, very determined to make everything as funny as she possibly could, while Desi was very much just walks on set and says the lines and is funny. He's an effortless comic, if that's an easier way to put it, basically. But having those visualization scenes really showed how devoted Lucille was to making sure things were funny enough. But going back to the physical comedy bits, I don't think Nicole Kidman could have pulled it off. Deborah Messing and Cate Blanchett both could have, and they could have gone with a more iconic episode, but also having a more humdrum, boring episode would, I guess, it really, the filming of the episode is not part of the story. It's more of the fact that Lucille Ball is being investigated for being a communist, and that's big news. So having a more iconic episode would take away from that other major part of the story. But along with that, and that's something I'm just coming to now, is both of these plot lines don't feel like they have any weight whatsoever. The communist being a communist plot does have a little bit more weight than the filming of the episode, but at the same time, it just, both of them did not feel like they rose up very much. Because then there's also the third tertiary plot of Desi cheating on Lucy. So with that being said, here are my major problems with this. First, Nicole Kidman, I've said it earlier, but I do not think she was Lucille Ball. She looked like Lucille a little bit. The best parts of her performance as Lucille were when she was in the Lucy character, both on My Favorite Husband and on set as Lucy Ricardo, because she was able to take that register up to do that Lucy Ricardo voice, but the deeper Lucille Ball voice did not come through at all. It sounded like Nicole Kidman doing an American accent, and it just sounded like every other Nicole Kidman American character. Did not sound like Lucille Ball at all to me. She was able to do a lot of the recreations in the episodes fairly well. They really did that. The grape stopping visualization, they did really well, and the Fred and Ethel fight scenes, they recreated very well. Nicole Kidman was able to pull those off. But I think that's because she was basically copying from from video. That's basically it. She was just copying a performance. Whereas when she was playing Lucille, she wasn't really copying from any source material. And I know that Lucy Arnaz, both her and Desi Jr., approved Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem and said they liked their performances. They felt very much like their parents. But myself, as a fan, knowing what I know about both Lucille and Desi and the choices that they would make, none of the choices that anyone in this film made felt like they were in character or what those characters would choose or say or do. I'm not sure that a lot of really big Lucille Ball fans would enjoy this because of the inaccuracies and the fact that these characters do not feel like they are the right characters. So trying to figure out a way to put that makes sense. Both Lucille Ball, Lucy Ricardo, Desi Arnaz, and Ricky Ricardo, those are four extremely larger-than-life, very popular, well-known characters. Yes, Lucille and Desi are characters. They are actual humans, but they bring a character to who they are, their celebrity persona. And because they are so well-known, Lucille Ball especially, she is an extremely beloved character and an extremely beloved person. so many people know a lot about her, and we have seen, those fans of her have seen talk show footage of her and home movie footage of her and people talking about her. And we know, or we kind of would get a sense of the choices that she would make, the things that she would say in situations like this. And a lot of the choices and decisions and things that she says and does in Being the Ricardos do not feel like things that Lucille Ball would say or do. And I think that really just ruined the whole film for me. It felt very much like a fictional story based, like an extremely fictional story, extremely loosely based on a real person, real events, which I guess is what this is. But at the same time, it feels wrong, and it doesn't really work for me. Because if you think about the majority of biopics that are out there, they are about events or characters that really a lot of people only vaguely know about, or if they are about really well-known events, they are extremely close to what that event was. And yeah, I don't know quite how to put into words how I'm feeling about it, but I feel like because Lucille Ball is so well known by so many fans, this just did not fit. And I think I've said the same thing 4 times already. So to wrap this up, my rewatch score after my initial watch was Netflix, and that could also have just been because I was watching it in theaters and it was my first time watching it, and I wasn't really taking notes or doing anything other than absorbing the film as a film. The second watch, though, bumped it down to a TV, which I think would be my final rewatch score for this, because I could not get into it. I got annoyed by so much stuff, even more the second time watching it. But I may still end up getting the Blu-ray, maybe because somebody gives it to me as a gift, because they know I love Lucille Ball and they know I collect Blu-rays, and also because I like Aaron Sorkin as a writer. But overall, I did not enjoy this. I really am kind of upset with it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I have so many more notes on this that I didn't even get to in here, just because there is a lot that I wanted to say and talk about. So if you want to see everything that I had to say, and even a link to a Instagram post with every single inaccuracy in this film, not from me, from one of the Lucille Ball accounts that I follow on there, it will be posted on my Patreon tomorrow. So if you want to check that out, check out my Patreon. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate you, whoever you are. Let me know who you are in the comments down below, and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new, because I love talking all things movies, TV shows, filmmaking, mystery, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.